Welcome back to the Centered on Buffalo podcast. This week's guest, coming off the incredible Bills Ravens Sunday night football game, is the Brother Bill. You can find him on social media at with two E's, Brother Bill. He's one of my favorite follows on social media. He makes the incredible pregame Bills videos that you've probably seen before, usually making fun of the other squad and something about the city. I've been featured in them. This is a dude that I've connected with and absolutely love. He was at the game yesterday. We're going to get his reaction, talk about his pregame routine for games. We're going to talk about his videos, some of his favorite players over the years. You know, we'll get into maybe some wing talk since he's from West New York. So enjoy the podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Thank you to all that have subscribed in the past. And if you haven't already, go check out last week's episode with Mitch Morse. It's a good one. Enjoy the podcast and go Bills.
Hit us up on all social media at The Buffalo Pod.
Brother Bill, welcome to the podcast, brother.
What's up, Eric? Thanks for having me, man.
Absolutely. I'm fired up about this one. Have you recovered from that Bills-Ravens game last night yet?
Dude, I could barely get to sleep. I got home at probably almost 2 a.m. and just sat on my couch for a little bit, just taking it all in. Went up to bed eventually, but was still up probably for another hour and a half or so, and just woke up early too. I was just so wired still. It's awesome.
I know it. Yeah, I got back to the hotel a little before 1 last night and then had a 6 a.m. flight out of Buffalo. So a little rough wake-up call, got some sleep on the plane, and then got my big Monday with One Bills Live and recording the Sean McDermott show and WGR and all that. And now we're recording a podcast, but I just felt like it was a great day to record a reaction podcast. I don't do a ton of reaction podcasts to games, but that might be the best Bills game I've ever called. Now, some would say that the 13-second game was like the greatest game ever, but that didn't work in our favor. And you had the Josh Allen perfect game against the Patriots in the playoffs, but there wasn't as much suspense in that one, although it's very enjoyable. But anyways, we'll get to the game in a second. What's your normal pregame routine? Like, you're attending a Bills game. What's your normal day look like?
Usually, so like a night game is a little different. You have more time to kill. So like I'll do a long walk with my dog, make sure he's tired. And then I feel like I'm just watching mad, clips on Twitter, just kind of like getting fired up, seeing what everyone's saying and doing. And I think we headed from Rochester to Buffalo at about 1:30ish yesterday, and made some rounds to a few tailgates, meet up with some friends. And then I usually go to like the game day tailgate where they have like food and DJs and all this stuff, and just vibed out there for about 2.5, 3 hours. Went to the stadium and really took it all, especially yesterday. It was the last, home opener. So really taking that all in. I love the Ralph, man. I love like the old stadium vibes, and I've been going since I was 6. So just kind of like really want to take that in, see all the intro stuff and see the guys warming up one more first time.
Yeah, I know it. It's the season of the last home opener, the last, division game. It'll be the last game eventually towards the end of the season at Highmark. And then we go over to the big, beautiful stadium that's coming in across the street, which is, yes, we move in next year, but it looks like it could be done now from the exterior. It looks like it could be done in a few weeks. I know there's a lot of finishing touches that they need to get done to it, but it looks like it could be ready to roll here shortly. Obviously, we're going to need about a year for that. How was that game day tailgate yesterday?
It was really fun. Just seeing everybody again. Like you become friends with people that like you don't see for half the year once the season's over. So it's kind of like a big family reunion again. So like just showing up there, saying hi to everybody, getting some good chicken wings and partying a little bit. And then, like seeing the stadium, dude, I feel like the home openers the last 2 seasons have been like when you're just like, whoa, because it's so different from the last game when you saw last year's home opener. The last time I saw it, it was the pit still. And then it was like a whole structure. And now it's like you said it, from the naked eye of someone who doesn't know how to build anything, like looks pretty good. Like I'm like, yeah, we could play there.
Let's take a moment to hear from one of our podcast partners, and that's our good friends at Waterboy. Right now, if you go to waterboy.com, with your order, you can get a free sample. So try some of their other flavors, their other different packets they have. These are my favorites right here. These are the workout hydrations. Got a little glutamine in there as well as your normal electrolyte hydration packet. I start every morning off with one of these. Go check out our good friends at Waterboy. All right, so you weren't one of the fans that left early, were you?
No.
Yeah, I wouldn't suspect it. I mean, I saw people filing out, and look, I've been guilty of leaving concerts early, like especially if it's like, okay, one of us has got to wake up and take the kids to school the next day, which everyone's got school. I'm assuming there's a bunch of kids that missed school today based upon the fact that they were out late enough or their parents were out late enough celebrating. But yeah, I find myself guilty at times of leaving and hey, let's beat the traffic. Let's get home and whatever. And I'd like to think I wouldn't have been in that crowd. You got Josh Allen, but I didn't suspect you'd leave that one early. What were your thoughts when people were filing out of the stadium after that? I think it was after that last Derrick Henry run.
It was, like you said, you don't want to hold anyone to like anything. Like people got work and stuff. And it, like you said, I think that was the craziest game I've ever seen. So just, you felt like there was no shot, honestly.
Right.
And that was like a miracle, man. That was just amazing. So like you do understand like people got stuff going on and it felt very bleak, especially I think the punt when we punted, I thought we were going to go for it and we punted. That was like kind of like where I thought like the Derrick Henry run, I think we had like a 3-and-out maybe right after. And it just felt like there was no hope. And it was just insane. I can't believe it happened.
I know. And look, I'm sure Sean McDermott will catch some crap about punting the football there, but it's like it was something around 4th and 13. It's like your chances of getting that aren't very good. If you can pin them deep, maybe, whatever, you can get a quick score, quick turnaround. But all right. So looking at the game last night, is that Josh Allen's best performance in a Bills uniform?
Dude, I saw the fourth quarter stats and like mind blowing. That's like a good game for some quarterbacks. And that was the fourth quarter. I think like you got like you said earlier, the Patriots perfect game, but like just like the fashion it happened yesterday, I do think that was probably the best performance I've ever seen. Just putting the team on his back, like felt like there was no hope and he found a way like when it just didn't seem possible. It was incredible. Like the pass to Palmer really sticks out. Dude, it was crazy.
Yeah, he had that checked play to James Cook where Cook had the long run after the catch.
Yeah.
Like that was brilliant. So Josh checks the protection, realizes it's blitz. So he checks the protection to make sure that Cook's going to go block the edge defender, which is Kyle Van Noy. So he goes and acts like he's going to block him. So the guy guarding him triggers, and then he slips him. Like Josh set that play up perfectly. That was so awesome. So it's even like a short pass like that. Josh had such a big, roll in that. And then the Keon throw late in the game, the last essentially play for the Bills before they knelt it down. Josh recognizes, okay, we're at the 35-yard line. They have to blitz us because if they can move us back, they can maybe get out of field goal range. Checks the protection, checks the route to Keon, guns the ball to him. And look, I think Keon probably would have scored if he didn't get tripped up, which would not have been the best case scenario.
No.
You don't want to give Lamar the ball back with 3 timeouts, only up, 5 or 6 points. And so, yeah, there was a lot that needed to go right when you have a 0.9% win probability in the fourth quarter. You need a lot to go your way. The defense got torched yesterday throughout, and we all have this like warm and fuzzy feeling today. Yeah. But looking forward, how much concern do you have about this Bills defense?
I feel like that's something that we're all prisoners of the moment. So like, yeah, we feel really good right now, but like we can't totally forget that like 35 minutes of that game or whatever it was, it felt totally different.
Right.
And I don't know. It wasn't pretty. I think Ed Oliver had a really good game. Like he's the one that really stood out and everyone else on the defense just didn't look great. There's some names out there like I keep pointing to. I remember when I was a kid and we signed Lawyer Malloy like 2 days before the season opened. And like, obviously Peppers isn't like that Lawyer Malloy type guy, but he's good. And don't think it could hurt to possibly bring a dude like that in who's out there and needs a job. But like they probably have a lot of faith in these guys and they're young. So like, I don't know if you want to hurt their confidence and everything, but hopefully we figure something out. And Sean's proven he is good at getting the most out of a defense, I feel like. So maybe
Yeah,
some rough edges to start, but he could probably get something out of them for sure.
absolutely. And do I have my concerns about the defense? Absolutely. I mean, but you're also facing maybe the best
Yeah.
offense in the league or one of the top 2 or 3 best offenses in the league. So many guys missed time during training camp. So it's like they're kind of getting their feet back under them here. You know, we got 2 defensive linemen suspended. We got 2 rookies playing at defensive tackle, getting a lot of reps. We're starting a rookie at corner opposite Christian Benford. So then Christian Benford's going to get on an island more because you're likely rolling your coverage to help out Dorian Strong. All that being said, are there concerns? Yes. Am I in full on panic mode? No. I mean, there's going to be some plays that you don't give up gashed runs over and over like that without there being some concerns and the tape not being very fun to watch when you're on the defense side of the football. But all that being said, you got a few weeks now coming up where, yeah, the Jets put up over 30 against the Steelers. Then you got the Dolphins who look terrible. You got the Saints. Like you have some get right games. If you can get it straightened out to where then maybe you're playing with some confidence, getting closer to heading to the bye, you know, Max Harrison coming back and you get the guys off suspensions and, you know, Trey White hopefully available this week. I'm not sold that this defense is bad, but there are obviously some concerns there. I got to ask you this. Derrick Henry, 31 years old. Is this dude going to slow down?
Dude, every year in fantasy football, I'm like eyeing him, and I'm like, if I draft him, this is going to be the year that like he falls off the cliff. And I
Right.
always pass on him, and I always get so mad because like he's just, it just doesn't seem like it. Like he's fast still, he's huge, he's athletic, like it's just insane. I can't imagine going up against him. And then like our safeties are kind of small. Like I can't imagine being like a Cole Bishop sized man trying to tackle that guy. Like that's just terrifying to think of.
Yeah, you got to get him at his legs. But the thing with Derrick Henry is you got to get him to stutter his feet in the backfield and not just come full head of steam. Well, they
Right.
did that multiple times yesterday, and he uses good vision, and he can still start and stop like he was 25 years old out there. The only good news is at 31 years old, and I believe last winter he turned 31. So be approaching 32 when the Bills have to face him again. If he plays the whole season and gets a workload like we saw yesterday, maybe the next time we see him, he'll be a little bit run down at that point. But it seems like that's about our only hope. And then you put him in offense with that many playmakers, a good scheme with Todd Monken and Lamar Jackson at quarterback, and it makes it even tougher because you have to account for Lamar every play. And so some of it's scheme as well, but that dude is special. Let's take a moment to hear from one of our sponsors, and that's Dano's Seasoning. Right now, if you use the code Buffalo at checkout, you can get a 13-pack of their premium seasonings for just $65. That'll last you likely a majority of the football season, and they will make you look good, whether you're making dips and throwing that Dano's in there, or if you're simply throwing something on the grill. Let Dano's Seasoning make you look like a hero this fall. Check them out at danoseasoning.com. Use the link in the show notes. Yum, yum, get you some. Last one for me before the rapid fire questions. Dude, how about Keon Coleman? We saw all of it during training camp, all the hype, all the buzz. Is he wide receiver 1 now?
I think so. Like I wasn't able to get to camp, but like following everybody and like seeing what they were saying got me really excited. And I was one of the, I don't want to say few people, but I was one of the people that really wasn't like so mad about his rookie year. Like he was a second round draft pick. I know he was our first pick, so I feel like that put like a first round label on him more so. But like he was only 70-ish yards behind Xavier Worthy at the end of like their season stats, and he missed like 6 games. I know after the injury he wasn't the same, but like going into that injury, I was feeling really good about him. So it's nice to see all the players talk about him the way they have, and like all the media people who've seen it every day talk about it, and then seeing it in the game, it was very uplifting. And like I'm very confident that he could be like that boom player outside, like wide receiver 1 type dude.
Absolutely. And for all the fantasy football owners out there right now, look, the Bills are still going to spread the football around. They're going to attack matchups, but last night, probably what fired me up the most was he has that early drop when they try and get him that screen, and then just completely puts it behind him and dominates the rest of the game. Draws penalties. He's, goes for 100 yards, gets a touchdown. Almost, I thought it was PI on the 2-point conversion where they went to him on the back shoulder throw. But I was ecstatic that he bounced back the way he did, because you could hear the grumblings in the stadium. He drops that
Right.
ball and everyone's like, "Oh, we've seen this one." Last year's Miami game, the ball bounced off his hands and they get an
Right.
interception and all that. So I was happy to see him come back from that. And I think he can be a dude for us this year where, some weeks he might get 50 yards, but there could be weeks where he gets 150 if he gets a good matchup and they want to blitz like they did at the end of the game. All right, we're going to go ahead.
What I liked too was like that play we talked about where James Cook broke it off. And I noticed he was like almost like directing James Cook back, and like he was blocking downfield and was like pointing at James to come cut back this way.
Right.
And that's cool to see too, because that's just like he didn't give up on the play. He was downfield blocking. He had like the wherewithal of, because I thought James was going to keep taking it straight.
Yep.
So that was cool to see too, that he's like,
he's into it. Yeah, absolutely. I saw the same thing and that's the kind of stuff that you want to see from your receivers. Like, okay, catching balls is great, but are you blocking to spring the big plays? Because we need you out there doing that kind of stuff too. So he's getting that dirty work in, which we love as offensive linemen. I can promise you that. All right, we'll get to the rapid fire questions brought to you by Dano Seasoning. All right, number one, got to ask you about your man back in town. Jordan Phillips gets signed. What's your reaction?
Oh, dude, I was so happy. He hit me up like a week before it broke, and he told me not to tell anybody. He said, "Don't say anything." I was thinking it was going to break in like a day or two, so I was like not going to have to hold it in that long. But it ended up extending like a week. So I was fired up. He's my guy. He actually gave me tickets to yesterday's game. So shout out to Big Phil. He's the best, man. I love that guy.
Dude, that's so cool. That's so cool. He's a friend of the podcast as well. I have to get him back on here sometime soon. All right, so you make these videos each and every week. How much production time is going into these?
Production. So I think some of the beauty of it is like it's kind of tchotchke, like it's all filmed on my phone. I have like a $10 yearly app I pay for that like I can edit on. I edit it all on my phone. I'm not really technologically savvy, so like it's very like basic. I would say like the thought process is the hardest part, especially year 6. I've done it for so long, and these teams I've played like Jets, Patriots, Dolphins especially, it's like the 12th one. So like really the brain power is the hardest part now, and I have friends who are always willing to film it and be in it, which helps. You've been in it a lot, which always helps too. I would say weekly it's probably probably gets up to like 8-10 hours of just like prepping and ordering things and getting things set up and film. I film throughout the week most of the time, and Saturdays as like the final touches. So it's probably like an 8, maybe 10 week thing, but it's spread out between like the 7 days.
Yeah, that makes sense. What do you have something in mind for the Jets already this week?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, good.
And I can't lie, this year I got married in the summer. Obviously, I feel like people who follow me knew that, and it took a little bit longer to like snap into like Brother Bill mode because I was just putting so much thought into that and money and stuff. So it was definitely like the last like week and a half I've really like my mind finally like started like working again. So usually I'm way more planned out, but I've gotten it all kind of figured out now.
Do you know which video has gotten the most traction over time?
I want to say the Chiefs one like 3 years ago was my biggest one, where it went like it really extended from like just like the Bills circle to like I think ESPN retweeted it at one point and stuff like that. So that one got like a ton of views. I can't remember what exactly, but that one really blew up. I think it was like the Stranger Things themed one. That was really big. Last year, the one we did, that final one against the Chiefs was really big too.
Yeah.
Where you came to me in the sky for like the 3rd time.
I'm not dead, Brother Bill.
Dude, I think the best part of those is when I ask you, it's like you don't know anything that's happening. I just give you like a script, and
Right.
it's gotta be so weird when like you have no idea what it's gonna be, and you just do it too, which is so awesome.
Yeah, the one time I got a text about it and like I had to do it last minute. I had a meeting at Encore, the golf company in Buffalo, and I was like, "Hey, will you all do me a favor and just film something real quick?" And it's like I had to show them like your previous videos to give them some context of it, and they're like, "Well, how are they going to fit that in?" I was like, "I'm not exactly sure. I'll see here coming up in a couple days too." But what's your favorite wing spot in Western New York?
So I'm a Rochester guy. I love obviously Barbell when I'm in Buffalo. So good. But in Rochester, there's a place called Windjammers that is so good. Like if you come to camp next year, you definitely gotta check it out, dude. It is so good. They have a sweet Canadian flavor. I don't really even know what it is, but it's like everyone in Rochester like knows Windjammer Sweet Canadian. And then they make pizza logs that they'll toss in the sweet Canadian sauce too.
Nice.
Just fire. So good.
Yeah, I'm a Buffalo delicacy guy. Like if I go to a wing spot, like I went to Wing Nuts before the game yesterday, I'm ordering pizza, pizza logs, fries. Like I'm getting the wings, but I like all the stuff coming with it too. I might be up there playing No Kill sometime soon. So
Dude,
if I
you
am,
gotta check it out.
I'll check out Windjammers. Hey, I appreciate the time, brother. Always good to connect. What's the next? Are you coming to the Thursday night game?
I'm not just because of my work schedule is a little tough, but I will be at the Saints game, I believe.
Nice, nice. All right, well, we'll have to catch up at the Saints game.
Yeah.
Appreciate you coming on. Bills are 1-0. Let's keep this thing rolling.
Thanks for having me, Eric.
Yeah, absolutely.